Well, it's early May, and that means it is iris time in Tennessee, the state flower, by the way. And we're here today at the Iris Garden at Ellington Agricultural Station in Nashville. And with me right now is one of the founders of this garden, this beautiful place, Eleanor Boyson. I would love to know how this place came to be.
It was a dream of one of our members. She wanted a public garden somewhere in Nashville. And I don't know how many places she looked before she found Ellington with this nice, flat, big area. And talking with the Commissioner of Agriculture, she actually got a deed that we don't pay for, but we have access to this. And I've forgotten how many years it was, but this was all begun in her head in 1983. But there were three of us that were the backbone, basically, that started it. I used to drive a pickup truck and I did most of the hauling in. We sold t-shirts, sweatshirts, bags, aprons, anything Catherine could come up with in order to raise the money to do the beds with stone, to build that beautiful gazebo.
Wow, it is beautiful.
And any other thing out here. And her husband was very instrumental in helping. Wow. He hauled the stuff around for us all the time. And some of our former members mowed the grass out here. This was all our upkeep for a long time.
So just the club, basically,
right.
The society was responsible for all parts of this.
All of this was our members.
Wow. It's just so beautiful what you guys have done. You must have done a lot of research on the various varieties to bring in, too.
Research? I don't know how much research you do. You look at a catalog, oh, that one's pretty. Does it grow well?
That's how I shop.
But now, we do have two beds over there. Originally, we just had one with the Dykes Medal winners.
Right.
Now, the person who's responsible for getting the Dykes bed recently totally dug out fresh soil mix and replanted. Is one of our good members today, and she's chairman of this garden, and that is Jenny Russell.
Oh, well, it's just such a treat. We're going to take a walking tour, I think, with Ginny. So, So thank you so much for sharing your insight. I love hearing the history of the place. It's lovely.
Thank you. It's been a lot of hard work, but enjoyable.
Bet. I am loving this historic iris garden and just seeing the different colors. And some of these go back. How far?
1612 is our oldest one.
Wow, 60. People have been gardening with iris for a long time.
Long time.
And you can see on these old ones, these smaller flowers and the narrower, the old form.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is Quaker Lady.
That is a famous old one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost gray. Yeah. So let's go look at some modern breeding now, over in this next bed.
You can't miss this one.
No.
It stands so erect and just...
It's like a beacon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just gorgeous.
It's a 2015 introduction.
Wow.
Yeah.
That shows you modern breeding right there. I mean,
absolutely.
Just ruffles and laced
and much bigger.
All parts of the flower are bigger.
Parts.
And another thing that I see in this bed are rebloomers.
Yes.
Like this one.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, look at the color of that Stargate.
Stargate by Betty Wilkerson.
Now,
from
isn't
Kentucky.
she up in Kentucky?
Well, she actually passed away last year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But that was her big thing, was rebloomers.
Well, and what I love about this kind of stuff, is these are hers. Yeah. Are that they're locally, sort of, so you know they're going to grow here.
Oh,
this is beautiful.
The soil is apt to them.
Well, you can see these modern ones have stiff stems, which is another breeding thing they've been doing.
And they're, not only are they, but the stalk, you want the buds to be straight in line.
Right.
But they're aiming to get 7 buds to a stalk.
Wow. So you get a really long season of bloom. It's really beautiful. Ginny, we're here with some more modern hybrids, and I see this bed is mostly Mid-America Iris breeders, which is Paul Black and Tom Johnson. They won all kinds of awards, I know.
Yes.
They produce them. And this one is just, it's delectable. It looks like blue whipped cream or something. They really produce some vigorous looking plants,
They do. They do. And Here again, notice the budding
Yeah.
coming up the stalk,
Look at
nice
how
and
many.
even.
And how sturdy that stalk is.
Because
It's really
we had
beautiful.
quite a windstorm here late yesterday.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And they're standing nice and tall for you.
Let's go over to this next bed and look at some
All
more.
right.
You can see why they call iris, you know, the rainbow flower. It's just every possible color, this gorgeous peachy pink and bicolors, and oh, just so beautiful. Now, let's talk about growing iris. I see no mulch, for example.
No mulch. They do not like mulch at all.
And I know one of the things that people do is, that can be done wrong, is planting them too deep.
Yes. As a rule, if you can leave them, the rhizome right above the ground, that's best.
So the roots right down into the surface
right
of the
there.
soil, and the big fat roots sitting right at the
That
top of the
rhizome
soil.
right at the top.
Okay.
Now you'll see here, some of them are kind of in the dirt.
Yeah.
But over time, that happens.
Right, they'll pull themselves to the place they
Right.
want to be.
They'll be
Yeah.
fine. They'll
Yeah.
be fine. But when you plant them originally, you don't want to bury them.
Okay.
And if you put it in the ground, and then you get your dirt all spread, pull it out just a little bit and pour a little water right over the top so you can see that rhizome.
Okay.
The way
you want to
you
be
wanna
able to see it. I
You
always
wanna be
say
able to
half
see
in,
it.
half out of the ground is a good rule of thumb.
And notice this one.
It's a space age.
It's a novelty iris.
Yeah, with the little, the beard with the little
horn coming out there. Whereas this is just
another
a soft beard.
Here's
right.
There's
and
another.
notice that beard is tricolor.
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh, isn't that something? Iris are a tough plant. I mean, they are great plants for people who don't garden much.
Right.
Yeah, because they'll just do their thing without a lot of care.
And you can drop one and ignore it.
Yeah.
And before long, the next year, you may find it coming right back up.
Wow.
And it's multiplied.
That's
and it
crazy.
doesn't matter whether it's a raised or a flat.
Well, I have quite a few varieties in a small area, but because I love them so much, and I love the rebloomers, and that's a great thing. I mean, to my mind, there's some that are just give you so much pleasure for so long.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing your expertise and your gorgeous garden here. Man, it's so beautiful.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.